Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. Today we are doing a collaboration with Private Reserve to bring you Private Reserve Infinity Turquoise. Huge thanks goes out to Private Reserve and the Alpha Pen Company for providing the ink for today's review. But before we start, we are going to share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. And we're actually going to share this on the Twitter, so that way people can come and hang out with us. There we go. Okay, we're going to share this with our friends. There we go. We can tag Private Reserve there. Perfect. Okay, there. Perfect. Now we're going to share this with everyone else. So, what is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Share this with the Facebook and the Tumblr and the Blogger and the Twitter and the LinkedIn and the YouTube, Reddit, and Pinterest. Alright, we are live. Excellent. So, today's pen we will be using the Fountain Pen Revolution. No, I'm sorry. Today's pen we will be using the Noodler's Conrad with a Fountain Pen Revolution Ultra Flex nib. Alright, let's take a look at today's ink. It's very nice, a little feathery around the edges there. Very nice, very nice. Here is our ink swatch, and water resistance test shows that it does not have any water resistance whatsoever, so I would not put this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. And here is our toilet paper chromatography, and I do see just the tiniest bit of gray in the middle, greenish, actually it's more like a grayish yellow, and then I see blue around that. And then here is our ink painting of the day. Very nice indeed. Okay, let's do a small writing sample. Okay. I'm gonna move my mug so I don't. There. Right, here we are. Today's ink. Beautiful blue ink. Super nice shading. Oh, I'm amazed how amazing the shading is on this pen, on this ink. So let's take a look at some. Let's do a dip test. Dip pen. Today's pen will be using the Osprey with 156 and alright, well, what do y'all think about that? Again, with the fountain pen ink, with the ink in the fountain pen, I do notice that it's slightly lighter than it is with the dip pen. So that may be something to think about when you are purchasing this ink. Alright. Let's just take a closer look here. Really nice shading. Not so much shading in the dip pen, but a little bit. I mean, if we look at these two, we can definitely see that there's barely any shading in the dip pen, but there's way more shading in the fountain pen. I wonder why that is. That's very interesting. So there you go. Okay, let's do some paper review, shall we? This is the Pen and Gear Memo Book from Walmart.com. Just angle this right. Okay, sorry for all the wiggling. Perfect. Alright, here is Infinity Turquoise on the Pen and Gear Memo Book from Walmart.com. There is a little bit of feathering. Oh, there is a little bit of feathering, but minimal amount of bleed through and a little bit of ghosting. This is lightweight traveler's notebook paper. I am going to bump it up to 4x so we can see. Beautiful shading. Actually, there's not that much shading going on. No bleeding. Barely any ghosting. This is super lightweight traveler's notebook paper. Had a little trouble grabbing the page. Other than that, there is minimal amount of feathering and normal amount of ghosting. This is lightweight. This is a Field Notes Journal. It is feathering into the page, and it did bleed and goes through the page. What is going on with me today? Alright, this is Moleskin 70 GSM. Oh dear. Feather like a chicken, bled through the page. Now again, this is done with one of the wettest pens, so your mileage may vary. This is the worst case scenario. This is Fabriano Ecoqua 85 GSM. Just the tiniest bit of wiggle, but no bleeding, no ghosting. Perfect. This is a Yush 100 GSM paper. Again, very little wiggle, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Leuchtturm 1917 plain. A little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Midori MD paper. Tiniest bit of shading at the tops of those letters. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. This is Top 52 GSM, Tomoe River. A little bit of shading at the tops of those letters. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Cosmo Air Light, 75 GSM. Tiniest bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. This is the Jot Journal from the Dollar Tree. There is no feathering, no bleeding, and no ghosting. This is Maramon Nemosini 80 GSM Dot Grid. Tiniest bit of feathering, but there's no bleeding and no ghosting. This is Oxford Optic paper. Again, just the tiniest bit of feathering. This one did bleed through the page. This is B7 Bulky from Danica 58, 75 GSM. No feathering. Tiniest bit of bleed through, little bit of ghosting. Clairefontaine 90 GSM. There's just the tiniest bit of feathering. I keep smacking my hand. But, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Sorry, excuse me. Alright, this is Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. Feather like a chicken, bled to the page. This is Up and Up Wide Roll composition book from Target.com. A little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. True Red composition book from Staples.com. We feather like a chicken, bled to the page. Notebook, Apica notebook, 81.4 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. No bleeding, no ghosting. This is the Nanami 7C 68 GSM Tomoe River. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Rhodium Dot Pad 80 GSM. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Artist Loft 100 GSM paper. It is feathering into the page, and it did bleed to the page. So the higher the GSM doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a better quality paper. This is Buffet handmade paper from Italy, and it is feathering into the page, and it did not bleed to the page. On the opposite side of the spectrum, you have papers that clearly feather and that don't bleed through. I have no idea what that is all about. Alright, this is U-style notebook paper. Feathered like a chicken, bled to the page. Sheffield home paper goods. Again, feathered like a chicken, bled to the page. CVS caliber notebook paper. Beautiful. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Oxford notebook paper. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Mead wide rolled notebook paper, and I went looking for this in 3 different stores yesterday, and I cannot find any Mead. It's all 5-star notebook now, so feathered like a chicken, bled to the page. 5-star notebook paper, feathered like a chicken, bled to the page. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. A little bit of feathering, a little bit of ghosting. Akabe cross-section pad. Little bit of feathering, little bit of bleeding, little bit of ghosting. This is the J&B copper plate graph pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. There's just the tiniest bit of wiggle, and it did bleed to the page. This is Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. Tiniest bit of feathering, and it did bleed to the page. That's too bad. Now, I will be doing reviews of all of these inks again in the winter to see about if the different climates correlate with more bleeding or less bleeding. Hi John, how are you doing today? How is Virginia doing? The last time that I was in Virginia, oh God, I'm having flashbacks. I'm having hot flashbacks. Getting clammy just thinking about it. Oh, the last time I was in Virginia was so hot and muggy. Phew. Hi, Obs. How are you? I'm doing well. Just finished a calligraphy class. You'll have to go to the Patreon and see if and answer the question I put out. If you're interested in learning calligraphy, go check out patreon.com/Marilyn Darling Show and see if there's there are some free classes in there. So maybe if you're interested, go check those out. Yeah, hot and muggy in the south, yeah. Alright, let's take a look at some light blue inks. This is Private Reserve Infinity Turquoise. Infinity is what they give the inks that are super lubricated and they don't dry out your pen, which is nice because sometimes they sit there for 5 seconds waiting for a thought to come, and then I go to write and it's dry. I'm like, come on, and I have to shake it and do all the things. This one is kind of a nice ink. It's very wet. Alright, this is... trying to decide. Yes, okay, this is Private Reserve Infinity Turquoise, next to Colorverse Hippocamp, Lamy Blue, Pilot Blue, Pimbibius 179, Ackerman Duffsblau, Diamond, Washable Blue, Kainai de Nepal, Blue Lightning, Blue Moon, Monongahela, Royal Blue, Hawaii Blue. Alright, now we're talking with bacon. Alright, let's see. This is Krishna Light Blue Cyan. These ones are super close. Twisby Sky Blue is also super close. Caribbean Blue is kind of close. Stipula Light Blue is like spot on. Horizon Blue is up there. Not this one. No. Turquoise Blue, Carco's Turquoise is up there. Blue Province is up there. No. Havasu Turquoise, Diamine Havasu Turquoise. That one's super close. Lavender Blue Bahamas is getting there. No. No. Yuki Akari is kind of lighter, actually. Whoopie Blue. Motor City Peacock. This is super close. No. Cool Breeze. This one's super close. No. No. Topaz is getting a little darker. Let's just look at some medium blues just to cover all of the bases. No. 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 I'm just going to run through these really quick. If you wish to look at these more closely, what you can do is get to just about the point in the video where you think it might be, and then use the period or the comma and move forward and backward. One frame at a time, relatively. Does that make sense? You can also go to inkswatch.com if you want to do a comparison that way. And those are all of the blues. Well, I do want to see. I'm thinking of thoughts about an ink, and I can't remember what it's called or where it is, but Diamond Bliss, Amazonite, Tropical Glow, Kalank, Yamogi, Abalone, Cerulean, Ham, Electric Patina, no, Blizzard Twinkle, Gravity Wave, Iced Cookie, Atlantic Blue, and that's really it. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? Are you thinking thoughts about getting a bottle of, or a sample? I always encourage everyone to get a sample. If you're thinking thoughts about, getting this ink. Because one, it does bleed through some pages. Fabrion Ecoqua seems to be the best one for this pen and ink combination so far. Do you have this ink? What do you guys think about this ink? Let me know in the comment section below. Check out the links in the doobly-doo. Today is the last day that you can save 10% off of your next order from Pen Boutique by typing in the special code to the discount box. So, save 10% today. Today's the last day. I don't think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna go tomorrow. So if you haven't done so already, and you have a couple of pennies and you want to buy something, go check out Pen Boutique. Because after today, the discount will go away. Okie dokie. So, that's all I have for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.